Good morning, children. This is Mrs. Sanju Malim from Springfield's Masap Tank, biology teacher for class 9th. I am going to continue lesson number 6, sense organs. In our previous video, we have covered the structure and the function of eye. Today, we are going to deal with the structure and function of ear. As you all know that ear is a sense organs of hearing. Yes, ears helps in hearing and also they help in maintaining the equilibrium of our body, which we will discuss in detail when we are doing the function of ear. Now, to study the structure of ear, we should know that the ear is divided into three parts: external ear, middle ear and the internal ear. What does the external ear composed of? Our external ear consists of outer ear. It is consisting of pinna, which is visible to the eye. It's a flap-like structure made up of cartilage and it is present on either side of our head. It's called as pinna. This pinna leads into the, here it's brown color, skin color. This pinna leads into a canal which is called as the auditory canal. It is called auditory meatus. Can you see here? External auditory meatus. That is the auditory canal which pinna leads into. The pinna consists of the ceruminous, the wax producing sebaceous glands. The wax producing ceruminous and the oil producing sebaceous glands. So in pinna there are ceruminous glands, wax producing. There are sebaceous glands, oil producing. These helps to keep the ear canal lubricated and prevents the dust and other particles from entering into the ear canal. Remember, the auditory canal is called as the auditory meatus. Now, a thin layer of membrane called as the tympanum or eardrum is present at the end of auditory meatus. Can you see the tympanic membrane? Yes, that is our eardrum. We are advised not to put the sharp objects into the ears because it may damage our tympanic membrane, our eardrum, which is very sensitive, which receives the vibrations and sends to the further middle ear. Now we have seen the external ear. It is consisting of the pinna, auditory meatus and tympanic membrane is present at the end of the external auditory meatus. Now let us see the middle ear. Middle ear is very simple. It plays an important role in amplifying the vibrations received on the tympanic membrane. Now the middle ear is consisting of a chain of three bones. Can you see the three bones here? Yes. Malleus, incus and stapes. Malleus means it is called as the hammer, anvil and stirrup. These are the three common names: hammer, anvil and stirrup. The other names are malleus, incus and stape. You can call them malleus, incus and stape. They also do the same function of amplifying the vibrations. Amplify means to increase the intensity of the vibrations. And these three bones will lead into the internal ear, that is the inner ear. Now what does the inner ear consist of? Can you see here? The inner ear is the rest of the portion. The rest of the part is called as the inner ear. Now I will tell you what does it consist of. Now the inner ear is consisting of a bony labyrinth enclosing the membranous labyrinth. It consists of vestibule, three semilunar canals and cochlea. Can you see the three semilunar canals at the top, light purple color? Yes, and the snail-shaped cochlea. So, the internal ear is consisting of vestibule, three semilunar canals and cochlea. Now, the anterior part of the vestibule is sacculus and the posterior part is utriculus. Nerve fibers from them form the vestibular nerve. Can you see the vestibular nerve? Yes, it is there at the top. See? Semilunar canals are connected to the vestibule and are filled with the endolymph. They are filled with the fluid endolymph. Vestibule and semilunar circles maintain the equilibrium. So remember, these are responsible for maintaining the equilibrium of the body pertaining to posture and balance of the body. These semilunar canals are responsible for maintaining the equilibrium of the body pertaining to posture and balance of the body. Now what else can we observe here? This is the spiral shaped, that is the snail shaped cochlea. Cochlea is present? Yes. And cochlea is a spiral shaped structure and it has 3 tubes. The first 2 tubes are separated by the vestibular membrane. The second and third are separated by the basilar membrane. Okay? Now, cochlear nerve fibers forms the cochlear nerve. You can observe the cochlear nerve again. Yes, we have vestibular nerve and we have cochlear nerve. Both of them join together. Can you see the vestibular nerve? Yes, green color. And then the cochlear nerve. They join together to form the auditory nerve. Auditory nerve goes to the brain. It carries the messages from the ear to the brain, and the brain recognizes and tells us that this is the sound of a horn, this is the sound of a pressure cooker, this is the sound of a whistle of a train. Anything we are able to recognize is because the auditory nerve is carrying the message to the brain, and the brain is recognizing and helping us to identify and recognize the sound. Now children, we will also do in detail the process of hearing. Here I told you about the 3 things. The outer ear or the external ear, pinna, consisting of auditory meters, tympanic membrane. The middle ear consisting of the 3 bones, malleus, incus and stapes. Stapes is the shortest bone present in our body. And the internal ear consisting of semicircular canals and the cochlea, and they are forming the cochlear nerve and the vestibular nerve together forming the auditory nerve. And remember, these semicircular canals are responsible to maintain the equilibrium of the body. Okay children? Now just a summary. The outer ear is called as pinna. It collects the sound from the surroundings. When the sound reaches the eardrum, it vibrates due to rapid compressions and rarefactions. The vibrations are amplified by the 3 bones present in the middle ear. This question is 1 mark. Which part of the ear helps in the amplification of the vibrations? The 3 bones, malleus, incus and stapes. They help in amplifying the vibrations. Now the middle ear consists of 3 small and delicate bones called hammer, the other name is malleus, anvil, the other name is incus, and stirrup, the other name is stapes. They are linked to each other. A station tube, the lower part of the middle ear, has a narrow tube going into the throat. Yes, it connects the middle ear to throat and ensures that air pressure inside the middle ear is same as that on the outside. Coming to the inner ear. The internal ear is composed of cochlea and 3 semicircular canals. The cochlea is filled with the fluid, with liquid, and the cochlea makes the hearing apparatus, and the auditory nerve from it goes to the brain. Eardrum is the intersection of the outer ear and the middle ear. Yes, outer ear and middle ear both are connected by the eardrum. Tympanic membrane. Okay children? A station tube, can you see? That is going to the throat. Okay. Now whenever we put drops, we can feel its taste, isn't it? Internally they are connected. Now this is about the internal ear again. Internal ear, as I told you, consisting of bony labyrinth enclosing membranous labyrinth, consisting of 3 vestibule, 3 semicircular canals and cochlea. The anterior part of vestibule is sacculus and the posterior part is utriculus. Nerve fibers from them form the vestibular nerve. Semicircular canals are connected to the vestibule and are filled with endolymph. Vestibule and semicircular canals maintain the equilibrium of the body pertaining to posture and balance of the body. Cochlea is a spiral shaped, snail shaped structure. It has 3 tubes. Cochlear nerve fibers forms the cochlear nerve. Together, vestibular nerve and the cochlear nerve join to form the auditory nerve which carries the messages to brain. These points are very important because sometimes they ask in the exam, write a short note on the internal ear or inner ear. Then you must be able to write these 9 points. This is again about the structure. As I told you, the process of hearing we can see. The outer ear pinna collects the sound waves. The sound waves passes through the ear canal. In the ear canal is, just now I told you, it is auditory meatus. Ear canal, auditory canal, it's called as the auditory meatus. And the sound waves passes through the ear canal to the eardrum, that is called as the tympanic membrane. The eardrum vibrates. The vibrations are amplified by the 3 bones of the middle ear called the malleus, incus and stapes, or you can call them hammer, anvil and stirrup. The middle ear then transmits the sound waves to the inner ear. In the inner ear, the sound waves are converted into the electrical signals by the cochlea. This is very important. The sound waves are converted into the electrical signals by the cochlea and sent to the brain by the auditory nerve. The brain then interprets the signals as sounds. It recognizes the sound and helps us in hearing. Don't get confused with hammer, anvil and stirrup. They are the same bones which I called you, malleus, incus and stapes. So this is the process of hearing, children. It is again shown in this how the sound is reaching our ears. What is the first step? Sound waves enter from outer ear and travel through the ear canal to the eardrum. Ear canal means auditory meatus. Eardrum means tympanic membrane. The eardrum vibrates with the incoming sound and sends the vibration to the middle ear, that is the 3 short bones, small bones. They amplify the vibrations. The bones in the middle ear will amplify the sound vibrations and send them to the inner ear and cochlea. The cochlea will convert these vibrations into the electrical signals and releases the neurochemical messengers. And here the auditory nerve will carry these electrical signals to the brain and the brain will interpret and recognizes the sound. This is the same slide which I have shown you before. So basically, children, we have seen that the ear is having the 3 parts: outer, middle and inner. External, middle and internal. Okay? Okay. Now let us see the functions of the ear. 2 main functions. First is to collect and transform the vibrations produced by sound to nerve impulses to be carried to the brain for processing. Second is to maintain balance and equilibrium. Now what are the ear diseases? Common ear diseases are formation of pus, infection of eardrum, may be caused by bacterial or fungal infections. So we have to be very careful when we have ear problems. So remember how to take care of ears. You know, we go to ENT doctors. ENTs are for ears, nose and throat. ENT doctors we consult when we have ear problem. Now how to take care of ears is, do not use earbuds, pins or any other object to clean your ears. Earbuds can push wax towards the eardrum, causing pain, infections within the ear or even rupture the eardrum. So avoid using earbuds also. Prevent water from entering the ear. Consult your doctor first for any feeling of ear blockage, ear heaviness or abnormal noises in the ear. Newborn screening is a must. Early diagnosis and intervention are vital. Take care during a period of cold and cough, especially in children, to prevent the ear infection. Annual ear checkup is must. So these are the steps to be followed for taking care of ears. So children, today we have seen internal structure of ear, process of hearing, functions of ear diseases, and taking care of ears. Homework. Draw the neat label diagram of internal structure of ear. Only draw the diagram. And what do you write? What do you know about the inner ear? Inner is internal ear. These 9 points I told you, you can write that. Remember children, all question and answers are there in the PDF. Refer the PDF for the notes. And please draw neat label diagrams in your notebook. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you very much.